Good morning. Welcome to Smart and Messy Situations. Sometimes when we're going through our late 20s, early 30s, we run into people that have raised their children as single women. And then it becomes a time when their biological clocks start ticking again or start ticking period after their children have become a certain age. And then they want to have a man in their life. But um, when you're a single mother, you have to be very careful about who you have around your children. This is a day and time when things are kind of crazy, and some of the people act a bit crazy as well. I've heard so much in the news about single mothers leaving their children with their man or boyfriends to watch them while they either go to the store or go to work or whatever. And a lot of these children are being abused by those boyfriends. Never be so desperate to put a man before you put your children. If you are single and you have children, your first responsibility are to those children. And a good thing to do before you even start dating somebody, get a background check. I'm serious, get a background check. Um, I was married for many years, and after I divorced, even after my divorce, I used to get background checks on people. And some of them would lie to your face. You would take the background check and they'd still lie to your face. And sometimes women can be so desperate to have a man in their life that they ignore all of the red flags. And that's a no-no, especially when you have children. Do background checks. Don't be so quick to bring men into your house around your children. Date outside of the house. Uh, if you're dating or going on a picnic, make sure your children can be seen at all times. They are not to leave with that man or be alone with that man. Your children are the future, and you don't want them to be harmed in a way that's going to affect them for the rest of their lives. I know sometimes when you're young, you want to party, you want to go out, and sometimes you leave your children with different people. You have to be careful even about family members and leaving your children with close relatives, because some of the most abuse cases happen when you leave them with a relative, believe it or not. You have weirdo uncles, weirdo aunts, child that will harm your children. This woman went to the store, but I guess her new boyfriend didn't know she had installed cameras in her house. And when she got back, she went ahead, she put up her groceries and everything that she had gone out to get. And she happened to look at the little monitor, rewind it, look back. I don't know why she didn't have it hooked to her phone. But what she saw just put her into a panic. The man had thrown the little baby. It was a little baby, he had to be about 6 months old. Threw the little baby on the couch, slammed it, and then choked it, and then hit the baby. You never know what's out there or what you are inviting into your house to be around your children. Now, with my own children, the ones that were right there with me, I didn't allow my children to spend the night over to people's house either. Because you never know what those parents are about. You don't know if the father or the mother is a child molester. You don't know these things when you send your kids to spend the night over to people's houses. I have heard things about preteen girls going over to spend the night and have a pajama party, and some have been raped by the father who's over there or the mother's boyfriend. So you have to be very careful about allowing your children to be out of your sight and around strangers or people you don't really know. And sometimes you think you know people, but you really don't. Oh no, I can remember even when I was a little girl and my mom would go looking for my dad or something. He would be partying back in the day or something, and she would want to join him. And she would sometimes leave my brother and me over to this neighbor's house. But the neighbor had 3 sons. And I remember one of the sons trying to touch me. But I was one of those kids, I used to talk loud. I used to talk real loud and tell. So that kind of saved me from being brutally molested. But you never know. Um, you just have to be very careful about who you have around your children. These young uncles who be about 14 and 15 years old, who bring their friends over around your children, you have to watch that. Because little boys and teenage boys, they're having their sexual or sexual awakenings. And some of them do not know how to control that. So do not let your children sit on their laps. I'm serious about this. Don't let your children sit in people's laps, nor your little girls. And when your little girls have on dresses and stuff, make sure they have shorts under their dresses. Because I'm telling you, it's some sick-minded people out there. I'm going to use another example. My granddad had a friend, Mr. Green. Talking about, come give me a hug, I'll give you a quarter. But see, I had a lot of sense when I was a child. I'd say, no, I'm not going to hug you. And he had his hand out. You don't want this quarter? I said, no, I don't want your quarter. And I don't want to give you a hug. And I hold on to my granddaddy's hand. I said, Granddaddy, I don't want to hug him. Kids have good sixth sense. They can tell when a person is weird or not. And I just happen to have a sixth sense. And I could feel when people weren't right in their head, or if they would hurt me, I would know. I could just feel as that's one that's gonna try some weird, you know. And I either run away or I go tell my grandma and granddaddy, for real. And another thing I've seen people do, y'all let little boys in grown men bathrooms by themselves. You don't let your little boy or little girl go into the bathroom by themselves. I used to take my sons in the woman's bathroom with me. I would never let my children or my sons go into a male's bathroom by himself. I've heard many cases where little boys go in there and they've been traumatized by grown men. Now, you don't let your child go into a bathroom alone. Mm-mm. That's a no-no. If it's a boy, take him in the female's bathroom with you. They got these co-ed bathrooms. Go in there with your child. Watch what's going on. I don't trust it. Let me see if I missed anything. But I'm telling you, watch your children. Because everybody can't be trusted. And if you're going to date somebody, do not take them around your children. Do not have them sleep in your house and you got children in there and you're not married to them. I'm serious. You think I'm serious? So many crimes and molestations happen when we move our eyes away from our children. People that we trust, like just because he's your uncle or just because he's your brother, don't mean he ain't no pervert. You understand what I'm saying? And we entrust these different men and women with our children. If you walk in and it's 80 degrees outside and a man got your child sitting on his lap and they got a blanket over them, red flag, some ain't right. If every time you leave to go shopping and you leave so-and-so in the car with your baby, and you come back and this person are taking your baby out of the seat, got them sitting on their lap in a weird position, red flag. If every time you go somewhere and you leave this child at a house and you come back and they're acting out with their dolls, or they're posturing in their legs or anything, ask them, say, did anybody touch you? Another thing, you need to tell children, let them know where certain body parts are. And these body parts are not to be touched. And if somebody touch them, I don't care if they giving them a wash off. I don't care. Tell me that. Tell those children certain areas of their body is off limits and should never, ever be touched by anyone. And if somebody touch you, you tell. There is no such thing as our little secret. If somebody tell them that it's a secret, say, hey, we don't keep no secrets. You go tell that child to go tell anyway. Tell an adult, if they don't listen, tell you. And tell that child to keep telling until somebody listens. Be more careful with your children.